the 500 in Adelaide, where Craig Lowndes is hotly pursuing. Oh, this is Brad Jones!
That's a big rollover. Speed stick turn on the exit of Adelaide Straight, heading for Brabham Straight. Goodness me.
Hasn't that corner claimed some cars today?
Well, obviously, Brad was pretty committed to the corner, and it was on the slide before it got to the tyres, and all it did with the tyres was turn it over and tripped it over. So
the interesting point now is this maybe, or looks definitely like it'll bring out the safety car, and that'll bunch things nice and close at the front.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Glenn will be bluing because the gap that he did have in 15 seconds. That's the blue-green look that you get. That's not the nicest one.
That's the on-board camera.
Is he out?
Now there's Brad.
Okay, which is actually, it did look like the compartment of the car, like the driver's compartment of the car, did hold up to that very well. I mean, when you looked at it turned over, it had hardly broken the screen. So
pretty shattering moment for Brad Jones. He's having a tough season.
Doesn't that picture tell the story? Let's have a closer look at it again.
Oh, goodness me. It's incredible, isn't it, Skaife, when you see these things, they look all very smooth and controlled, but once they get out of control, don't they do some damage?
Well, I mean, when they're 1,350 kilos, you can see it on the slides. It's sliding already. He's committed himself. I mean, he's way too quick for that. So when he's already going to have a fair slide, the tyres are obviously there, but the curb is also the thing there that does trip the car. So it's not very nice.
Poor old Brad Jones. Hasn't this been a rough introduction to the V8 supercar ranks for him in terms of a full championship assault? And this is only round 3.
Yep, he was a rookie on the track this year too, one of a number of rookies. Never competed on the streets of Adelaide, but there he is. Good to see Bradley walking and talking. He's okay. A testament to the strength of the modern V8 supercar.
And of course, right behind them is Greg Murphy. Is never afraid to get involved. Todd Kelly behind Murph.
Well, a few people will have noticed that Traddy let Stephen Richards through easily through turn 1, but thereafter the cork went straight in the bottle.
Look at this.
It's been frustrating. Cameron McConnell, he's behind the car. Well, the team representative he drove last year.
Well, now Cameron's holding them up. He's absolutely under threat from Greg Murphy, and right behind Murph, Todd Kelly.
Going to be aggravation here, any tick.
Look at the double-ended bumper job
there
that
it is.
Todd Kelly's getting here.
I'm not sure if they touched there, but Cameron went onto the ripple strip, and that tilted the car, of course. So
they're touching. They're side to side on the way to 8.
Kelly gets past Cameron McConnell. Now there's a big go here.
Will they get through there two abreast?
Well,
yeah, no, they won't. There's chaos. There's chaos.
Oh, this is
and
a
I
bad
didn't
one.
think you could possibly get 2 cars through there. This stuff's insane.
It was Dumbrell trying to get past Cameron McConnell. We're not sure if that triggered it. Colin Bond sweeps across the steward's room. This will be, of course.
You could see that coming from a lap back. I said to you guys.
Yep. They are past 75% race distance, keep in mind, guys. So they can stop the race here if they want.
And Stephen Johnson, of course, caught up in that. He is finally out of the race, one would suspect, after carrying on with a very battered car.
We've seen some absolutely ridiculous moves through turn 8.
The territory they were fighting over.
That was all because the field was artificially grouped when it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the bottleneck from the lap car definitely bunched the guys up more than normal, and everyone gets a bit racy. Not long to go in the event, and everyone's pretty buggered.
Brad Jones tied up there. Sorry, Garth, and of course Cameron, your teammate. Now further up the track, is that Jason or Mark? It's Mark Winterbottom further up the track.
Well, look at this unfold here. We've got to look at this from a few angles.
It's Dumbrell here trying to make a pass on Cameron McConnell, and this in the sweeper
just touched him, just enough to turn him around.
And
look
at what happened.
Damage.
It was barely a touch. It looked like they didn't touch
well,
it.
At 220 Ks, you can imagine.
No, it doesn't take much. And the cars are fairly unloaded there.
Just enough of a touch. Look at that.
Yeah.
Push the tail out. Cam trying to gather the car up, but by that stage,
a victim.
So Jones and Stephen Johnson, nowhere to go. Huge damage.
McConnell just fought and fought and fought to try and hold that car. And then it eventually came around on him. And bang, T-bone twice in the driver's side. Absolute chaos.
Look at Bernard weave through here. Cars backing out towards him. Yes, just around the chaos.
And his teammate here, he comes. The Triple Eight boys are going to service both their drivers. There's Whincup. He's in for his second compulsory.
And your brake 5.
Oh, big problem here for Skaife. He's gone straight into the wall at 8. Massive damage to that brand spanking new car, and it is a mess.
What?
Are you okay, mate?
What a dramatic turnaround. Top of the class at the beginning of the day, and it has ended with that.
They won't know about this at the moment.
They're waiting for him to come in, and he won't be coming in. That car's going back on a flatbed. And the disappointment at the Holden Racing team. And look at the flurry in pit lane. Steve Johnson, Greg Murphy, Paul Morris.
This will extend the safety car period, which lets these guys off the hook who weren't in the right place at the right time to take the fuel to start with.
And it's just before the halfway point of this race. James Courtney's in. Something always happens here at the Clipsal 500. This was the reason for the safety car. Mark Winterbottom from Ford Performance Racing.
Yeah, he's having trouble actually getting it in the lane at the moment, so he's got some sort of steering damage on that car. Remember, he was down at turn 9 up on the ripple strip. A queue forming here at Stone Brothers Racing. Russell Ingall in behind James Courtney. Better to wait there than to end up out on the track.
And there's
losing time waiting for the stop.
Damage from the first corner, first lap.
They're doing tyres all round. They can afford to while they're taking...
Wait, go.
Had to wait for one of the Team BOC cars. Winterbottom's back at his pit.
They're putting Go-Jacks under the car, so I think it'll end up in the garage.
Go-Jacks to get you back into the
Here's the onboard replay. What's happened here to Mark? He's come out of the groove and hit that wall very hard.
That
didn't look like a turn, did it?
That is almost like Garth Tander all over again from 2005.
I wonder whether something broke. I'm curious as to why it went up the escape road to begin with at turn 4, but it just did not offer up to the corner at all there. So we'll find out more. This is later. It's already out of the race groove here. He's got the brake on, smacked the wall. Ooh. That's an ugly sight for a crew in any race team here. Ford Performance Racing went through it yesterday. Holden Racing team experience it today.
Oh, that's James Courtney. We saw him at Bathurst on debut. He crashed the car there. He has crashed here.
It's another safety car for sure. Massive damage to the SBR car. This is a brand new car.
Yeah,
Two brand new cars totaled in the space of about 15 minutes.
Hey, mate, we'll see you when you get back here.
There's Jim Stone, Ross Stone. What a nightmare weekend for the defending team's champion and drivers champion.
Ask Ross before the start of the race, what do you reckon? He goes, well, we're in the muck at the moment. We'll see how far in we are at the end of the day, but clearly they're in it deeper now.
Boy, what a tough start to this year for two of our top teams. Stone Brothers Racing and the Holden Racing team have just crunched two of their cars. And there's Paul Forgy, the man who engineers James Courtney. Here's the Zinger replay. Watch the top of your screen. And did he collect someone on the way back? No.
He got both walls. He got the exit wall at 8 and then the inside wall on the exit. Here it is again. Whacks it once across the road. Did he get the other car? Just.
I think that was Bargwana.
He'll be blessing himself after that one.
Wow. That thing was in a four-wheel drift coming through turn 8. Look at it. Speedway style. Whack. And it was Bargwana, car 10.
Which puts a lot more debris on the road, which needs to be carefully managed. And I'm sure that the great job the volunteer marshals do here around the circuit, they'll be right on top of it, but this is going to put another big delay in the event. Paul Forgy, James race engineer, said we'll see you when you get back. He's out and he's okay, but they are in for a huge week. Great recovery for Rick Kelly when you consider what happened to him at the start of the race. He's now fighting for a podium spot, and this will be an interesting shootout between these first 3 or 4 cars. Could even extend beyond that to 4 or 5 cars. They've all got pace. They've all shown it through the day. Whincup cranks it sideways, exiting 5.
Let's not forget about Jason Richards, who was involved in that accident, and Mark Skaife. They came from the last two positions on the grid. Whoa, Murphy on the inside. Good move on Dumbrell. Threw it in there. It went sideways. Wasn't the quickest way through, but he did get the position. Now Dumbrell comes back. It's a drag race. And Ingles swerving in the background, looking for a way through.
And right in behind them. Oh, 2 by 2 through there.
Murphy in the wall.
No.
Murphy and Skaife into the wall. That's 2 days for Skaife at turn 8. Wowee. And we apologise for the language, but you can understand the intensity and the shock and despair. That is 2 from 2.
You could see that coming a mile away.
And Mark Skaife is not a happy man. Greg Murphy and Paul Dumbrell were fighting over real estate. That's Matty Crawford talking. And Skaife will be in a state of disbelief. And Murphy yet to get out of the car as well. They're looking in the rearview mirror, checking that it is safe to get out of the car.
Everybody was told clearly in the driver's briefing, turn 8, unless you are wheel-to-wheel side-by-side, it's a one-line groove.
Watch this. There could be some words here because the radio chat, he wasn't too impressed with what went down. Mark acknowledges the crowd. And he's to help Greg, yeah. I don't think Greg's well. Well, that's somewhat of a relief.
We're watching these replays, guys. I'm with Rob Starr, team boss for the Holden Racing team. You put in such a hard effort overnight to get that car to where it was. It was performing superbly. How do you feel?
Yeah, gutted, really. You know, we worked all night last night, and Mark kept his head the whole day, and he was driving a great race. And unfortunately, as we saw, he's ended up in someone else's accident, and you know, it's just a shame for us all.
We know that turn 8 is always a precarious place, and you may not want to get involved necessarily in debate, but do you have a take on what unfolded there?
Oh, obviously, you know, 2 going into the corner doesn't work, and you know, unfortunately, you've got to commit to that corner. If an accident happens and you're right behind it, you end up in a part of it.
We've got another busy week ahead of you, Rob. Thanks.
No worries.
The 2 teams that put in all-nighters have been left with damaged cars again. Here's the Zinger replay. And Murphy out in the dirty stuff, and Skaife was the next car in line.
Only one big hit. 3 cars have been taken out of this race. That's one of them. The I-Select entry from Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport of Taz Douglas, who has driven here before. It's a sorry sight as they head back towards the garage, and maybe this might have something to do with it. Remember earlier where Douglas squeezed Greg Murphy onto James Courtney at the exit of turn 7. Perhaps that may have broken something in car 22, which a lap later goes spearing into the wall at maximum speed down at the end of Brock Straight at turn 8. Now, there's Douglas, who ends up on the inside wall. Check this out. First up, James Courtney. Then Taz Douglas follows, and watch for Jason Bright. This is a really big hit.
And Bright was already crossed up before he got to the apex of turn 8. And Skaife and I were talking in the break here. It's interesting because Bright came along after a couple of other cars, and you would have expected if it was a lot of oil that the other cars would have been affected, and they included James Moffat, and I can't pick up who the other one is, but Bright was behind them. They weren't affected, he was. So it may have been very line specific if there was oil down there.
That initial burst of adrenaline to start the race now settles into the rhythm time, and on track. He's in. Whoa, he's gone into the wall. Straight into the wall, and huge damage at turn 8 for Will Davison.
Turned it in so
mate. It flipped me into turn 8. I've gone in hard. Copy that, mate. Just pull on the side of the road, please. Pull on the side of the road. It's pretty bad. I can see it on TV.
I turned it in narrow.
And I pointed to the screen when they were heading down there. There was traffic congestion, and I knew there'd be a drama. Let's pluck the front left wheel off that car. So you'll see people react to this. They'll take the safety car opportunity, which has been scrambled. So Pettis,
Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel.
Chrysler safety cars being deployed.
Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel. Waiting on fuel.
So Whincup, tandem, Bright, Winterbottom, McLaughlin, Slade, Pye, Moffat, Wood and Ingle all took the opportunity to come straight in. Quick reaction time for the crews.
That's a mess.
That is a mess. That's cost Mark Winterbottom.
No brakes. Can't help you with front straight, mate. Can't help you.
That's the damage that Chaz Mostert did to the front of car 6 at the tyre bundle at turn 1. It's just that mad scramble that you hear. And it's just ripped the front left straight off the car, taking the door with it. Huge damage.
So he's narrow because he rounded up James Moffat. I can see it all brewing in the background. Anytime you go narrow into turn 8, oh, he got a little bump. There was a touch as well.
That didn't help. So the little bump just now, just changing the trajectory, can't get it turned, and that really caused it. Now, he may have been very close by himself because he was already on a very narrow line, but that little contact gave him no choice. He got into the dirty stuff like that. Bang.
Oh. View from our two cameras, Betty Klemenko and Ryan Madison. Betty, the team owner, and Ryan, the CEO of Erebus Motorsport, will be shattered.
Checkered flag is now out as we pick up Mark Winterbottom. We've got big trouble for Whincup in the wall. Car number 1 has hit the wall of turn 8. A disaster for the reigning champion.
You okay there, buddy?
This is a big story. He's currently in 7th. Whincup has plucked the left-hand side off that car.
Okay, mate, just sit tight. Sit tight.
Red flag. Well, we've already got the checkered flag out. So that is a huge, scary moment for Whincup. He's spoken on the radio.
James Courtney did a 20.25 just before that come out, Neil. That's a great lap by James Courtney. So we look on board now with Jamie Whincup. He's been the master. We've said it before, 6 pole positions at this place, but that is a very used-looking Red Bull Holden Racing Team ZB Commodore.
So the drivers in varying sessions today that have made contact with the turn 8 wall: James Courtney, Cam Waters, Jamie Whincup, Mark Winterbottom, Jack LeBrock. It's a fair lineup of talent.
Absolutely.
And we've seen people give it a real rush there. Now, good news is that Jamie is okay, but that car is not.
That car certainly isn't. Here it is. So it's made contact quite early. We'll just try to get that a little bit earlier for you. But that damage, because you just can't keep it off the fence then. So there's 2 things that can happen. Here we go. Gone. He actually lost the rear of the car, unlike any of the others so far. All the others have been essentially understeering, the front of the car lacking grip. There's that wheel going. The debris fencing did a really good job to contain that tyre and wheel that was firing off there. Now have a look how sideways this car is. Sideways, sideways. Misses the turning point, gets the grey, which is the outside slippery surface, and had no way of correcting that car. There's the tyre. Actually jumped over the car at that point there. That's quite lucky. And watch this. The debris fencing catches the tyre and wheel. And it then runs down the escape road. Shane Van Gisbergen was having a good look there. Well done. That could have been quite a big moment. So, what a slide. Have a look how sideways that car was. That reminds me of Glenn Seaton's one many years ago. That was a...
And that's punched through to the other side, to the right-hand side. So that's extensive damage. It's pushed everything across on the transaxle and all the rear suspension, and it's actually popped the right rear wheel out the other side. Look at that.
Force is unbelievable. So most of the time today, we've seen guys just miss the turning point and run into the fence
with the front undergripped. As Champagne Gisbergen and Grant McPherson look on. Mark Dutton there to your left. David Couchy also looking.
Now, having triggered a red,
he'll lose his fastest time, Wayne.
Yeah. Brown, 19.4, big statement in very hot conditions. Now, Brody's going to threaten this. We've got huge trouble here for Hill. And the SP Tool Cars has been absolutely totaled. Red flag, qualifying 23. And another car, Reynolds is going to boil this. And there's junk on the road, and that's another destroy. That was a new car at the Gold Coast. So Hill and Reynolds, catastrophe in Adelaide.
And half his car's destroyed as well.
So there's oil on the road for sure. You can see the distressed look on all of the technicians' faces there in the Matt Stone Racing garage. But have a look at that, at 2 destroyed Camaros. Now, there's absolutely something on the road that's caused David. We didn't see what happened with Cam Hill, but for David to have spun before he got there, something disastrous has occurred in that meterage leading up to where that car was parked.
Now, the other chassis that preceded this one that David drove at Bathurst got heavily damaged. You can see the look on Charlie Schwerkolt's face there a moment ago to Team 18, and just making sure that Cam Hill is okay, and that's good news. Onboard shots, David Reynolds being the gentleman just to make sure that his fellow competitor's okay as he safely vacates the car, and that's good news for all concerned. But turn 8 has bitten, and it's bitten big. And that's a lot of damage, and shame to see that much. And that you can just the look on the faces of everybody at Matt Stone Racing. They know what sort of a night they're in for, Chad.
I'm just down at Team 18 and we've got a camera in here. I might see if I can get Charlie. The good news, Charlie, clearly everyone okay down there, but I just want to hear your thoughts at the moment. You have a bit of a hot rod in practice and then you see this before you even really get to the fast laps.
He's been on all weekend and he's been so fast. He's been incredible, and I just thought we just need a little bit of luck and then someone else's mistake and we go into it, which is really disappointing. And anyway, he's good, he's fine and all that sort of stuff, and rebuild the car and get it going against a brand new car, as you know, and yeah, so gut-wrenching. It's cruel.
Did you hear on the radio anything about the track conditions down there or anything that may have caught Dave out?
No, look, Rossi said red flag, back off, and probably, you know, he did, but just a bit too late.
Oh, mate, unlucky. Heartbreaks for you.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Matt Stone, I mean, your face tells the story. There's nothing that we can say. Do you have any more insight into what happened?
Look, he just hit the wall at turn 8. You know, come over the radio saying sorry, and I think the video speaks for why. Look, it's disappointing. I think we've got pretty quick cars, so we'll just have to build it up and see what we can salvage for that side of the garage.
In terms of, I mean, it's so early in the piece, but do you think that's a possibility that you can rebuild this car?
Look, we've certainly done it before. Yeah, we'll have a crack. It's certainly a big one, but you know, we've got a lot of truck full of spares and a long night ahead of us.
Thanks, Matt. Really appreciate your time.
No worries.
Tough deal there for Matt Stone, owner of that team, Matt Stone Racing. So this is Richie Stanaway. Oh, actually, so we saw the damage on that car. Didn't realise that he'd made that level of contact with the concrete wall on the outside at turn 8. Now, was that a contributor, I wonder? Is there anything on the road that's actually plucked it up off the deck? It's such a high-risk height. Oh, he got the curb on the inside.
Yeah.
And has slammed it in, and that's a lot of damage on that car.
So we just saw the buckled wheel. We didn't understand what that was. Oh, insane. But a lot more of it. So Cam Hill got the inside curb with a lot more vigour, which fired it straight across the road. Now, I wonder what's happened. You can see the oil. There's a heap of oil coming out of that car. There's a trail that you can see there. But I wonder what happened with David, because he must have gone in the fence by himself prior to that.
Yeah, there may be some junk on the road, as you were suggesting. Here we go. This will tell a bit of the story.
He got the inside wall for
three highly experienced drivers, all clobbering the curb at the apex there at turn 8, and then just pitches them into that outside wall. So that's a startled David Reynolds. That onboard image is so telling, Garth.
It certainly is, Neil, and it really shows just how quickly it happens. When you clip that inside wall, the journey to the outside wall happens in a heartbeat. I'm at Penrite Racing, and they've got a complete corner ready to put in the rear of Richie Stanaway's car. There's actually an upright, an axle, a drive shaft, the whole lot going into that car, and a front corner as well. So they're hopeful with this long red flag to rectify Richie's car. But I've never seen 3 drivers make the same mistake within the first, well, within 20 seconds. It's incredible.
Underscores the level of pressure and intensity that's going on out there at the moment. It's interesting, you and I had a personal conversation after I had some fun down there before it turned 1, 2 and 3 observing. And the thing that, from an overarching standpoint, that I found really interesting was how on the edge everybody was down there in that previous practice session. Yep. There was nothing left. And so evidence of it here, unfortunately, turn 8 today. So the order, frozen in time at the moment as we eat into the red flag stop time. Will Brown, Cam Waters, Tom Randall and Brock Feeney as we continue to look at these replays, and David Reynolds in the tradie entry now about to collect the stationary Cam Hill car. Then it's Courtney, Payne, Love, Evans, Jones and Fullwood. So the Brad Jones Racing cars mixed up in there. Stanaway with damage that Garth has just described in 11th. Kostecki, Heimgartner, Davison. Remembering there's a heap of people that wouldn't have actually completed a proper lap at this stage. And they're bringing that Penrite car back in here on the replay to see how much damage is down the left-hand side of that car. So Heimgartner, Davison, De Pasquale, Wood, Murray, Winterbottom, Percat, who's on that lap mark when the red flag came out, he'd done the best job in the middle sector at that point. So there'll be a heap of those sorts of tales to tell as well. And then Hill in strife, Slade, Reynolds in strife, Mostert and Golding. So Chaz Mostert without an indicative number against his name, Mark. Personal best mid-sector for Waters. He's threatening here as well. The cumulative number for Brock Feeney could further improve the 19.6 that he's sitting on at the top of the field at the moment. Anton De Pasquale is right on the edge of the top 10, and just outside at the moment is Payne and Reynolds, and David in recovery from a tough start to the weekend. And we've got trouble for Jackson Evans, and he's been bitten at turn 8. Red flag again in qualifying in Adelaide, and a disaster for the Kiwi and Brad Jones Racing with a hugely damaged car.
Now, what will happen, because I don't know whether any of the lead competitors got across the line to do their time. Mostert was on a great lap. Waters was on a great lap. Matt Payne was on a great lap. Brad Jones there looking on. And that's a very, very big incident there for Jackson Evans. Huge accident in the SCT Logistics Camaro. Look at the front of that car.
How are you feeling in that?
I hope he's okay.
That's winded him. So Brock Feeney has ended up being quickest. We didn't get to the completion of those laps. It had a lot of energy in it, everybody pushing to the max. Good to see Jackson moving around in the car, but that has winded him. You only got to look at the damage on this car to understand the energy and inertia that's gone through it. Everything in safety system land has done exactly what it's meant to do, and it's triggered the red flag, and the field has come in, and that meant that De Pasquale and Percat survived. Payne and Reynolds didn't get in, but all attention focused here on this man who's just been re-signed for 2025. He got the curb. It's the same deal as we saw earlier in the weekend, and then it's shunted across to the right-hand side of the road. So it's almost a carbon copy of what we saw earlier in the weekend.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Stanaway one, wasn't it? Stanaway did exactly that. All the wheels come off the ground, and then it glided. It actually stayed in contact with the left-hand fence for longer than any of those other cars. Watch this. So as he goes in, bang, have a look. All 4 wheels off the ground. Huge forces. That'd be 55G or something at that point. And then the car stays in contact with the left-hand wall. It runs along the battery world sign the whole way along as it gets towards the Velo, and then there's a relief in the fence there that just then pops it out. It hits the left-hand front and careers it across the road into the right-hand fence, which is where Cam Hill ended up the other day. Similar style scenario.
And that was Petter's Super Shock damper just separated from the car across the road. Left front wheels parted company. That's massive damage on that car that's going nowhere, and you can see the look on Brad Jones' face there a moment ago. He understands the financial implications of that, but eyes are on Jackson Evans at the moment to make sure that he's safely out of the car. The medical team are down there at the moment. It's going to take a little while to tidy this up, and unfortunately very similar scenario to what we've seen earlier in the weekend with the turn in at turn 8, getting up on the ramp, clouding that inside wall, and the dismay in the garage at Brad Jones Racing evident there. And unfortunately, he's hit it so hard that it's flicked into the left-hand side of the road.
Attention all teams, due to time remaining, qualifying session will not be resuming. I repeat, due to time remaining, the qualifying session will not be resuming.